They're huge. I've been out here surveying my green tomatoes every day. All this rain, they're still looking pretty good. Okay guys, a little bit different today. I've got a guest in the garden.
Yes.
And we're gonna sit down and chat about something that I think is very exciting.
I'm mind to show you.
Yeah, you're good. We're gonna be real casual here. So we've had this meeting planned for the last few weeks, and I wasn't sure how I was going to go about introducing you to my audience, but I knew I wanted to. Okay. And so we're just going to have a quick chat. We were just standing in the kitchen. So do you prefer to be called Gio or Giovanni? Which one?
You know, people ask me that all the time. My first name is actually Axel.
Axel? Axel
Giovanni. And I started going by Giovanni when I got here to the States.
Yeah.
And I tell people it doesn't matter what you call me as long as you don't call me late for dinner. Gio, Giovanni, okay. So Gio probably.
Gio, okay. Gio is, I'm going to let him go more in depth about what he does, but the way we got connected is a friend of ours connected us because we are very close to launching our coffee brand, Beulah Roasting Company, which we've been working on. We're going to go check it out later in this video. I'm going to show you guys kind of some progress and where we are down on our building. But we knew that it was very important to us if we were going to be dealing in coffee, which is a commodity that has a lot of exploitation in that industry. We wanted to make sure we were not exploiting people for any business endeavor that we were doing.
That's awesome.
So we were looking and just trying to figure out how we were going to source our coffee. We were looking at different brokers. We were looking at different things. And then our friend David said, I know a guy I want to connect you with. So Gio's here on our farm, seeing what we're doing, and we're hearing his heart for what he does, and I want him to tell you guys about what he does.
I love that. Thank you. I've been in the coffee industry for many years. Since 1950, my family has grown coffee, and we have done coffee because that's what we do as a family. But recently, we started doing it because we saw the potential the coffee has to touch many lives. So coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world, only second to oil. And if you think about every hand that gets touched, there's thousands of families that depend on this product. And we thought that since we are the ones that had a chance to do it and we've been doing it for so long, we could use that as the gift that God has given us so that we could utilize it to empower others.
Yeah.
And I came to the United States as a student. So I came as a student, graduated as a computer programmer. And so coffee never was, we did coffee because that's what we did.
Yeah.
So when I came, I was like, okay, finally I'm out of the coffee world. And then I just feel this calling to help. And I feel this calling to just be able to help others the way I was helped. And the way to break out of poverty the same way I was broken out of poverty. And that was through education and capitalization. And I thought, oh my world, how could I do this in a larger scale? And that was what I thought, oh, what if I could just bring their product here and share it with the world? And that way, it creates this sustainable cycle of helping and being able to produce and get a finer cup of coffee. Like the coffee that we get, it never goes into the entire industry, which allows us to just really get what the farmers produce, what is grown in the farm, directly into our cups. And that to me, as a coffee fanatic, I've been drinking coffee since I was 18 months old. And in the farm, they give coffee to kids because they think it's all the antioxidants and all that. It makes total sense. They give it in bottles and stuff. So my mom fed me that. And so sometimes I'm like, Mom, what in the world, you know? And for a watermelon, I'm pretty tall, by the way. So everybody thinks, well, caffeine kind of stunts growth. No, it didn't happen with either one of us, with my brother and I. And so so coffee is just such a part of that. And then you get to taste.
It's your culture,
right? You get to taste all that into it. And I was telling you, my grandfather, so this really all started kind of becoming a huge reality in my hand when I realized, when I was talking to my grandmother, who recently passed away, she would tell me about Grandpa and how he one day said that one day I wish to shake the hands of the people that drink my coffee. And every time I say it, I say, your children, and now I get to live that.
Yeah, you
as a
get to shake the
grandson.
hands
Yes,
of the
I
people.
get to shake the
who
hands of the people that drink our coffee.
So it's your abuela Reina that recently passed away?
Yes, Abuela
Okay,
Reina
wow.
just recently passed away. She was 98.
Wow.
So
coffee did her well.
yes, she did. Coffee did her well.
I get asked a lot as soon as we announced that we wanted to have a coffee brand. I love coffee.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about it. It's something that really does bring people together. But a lot of people, being a gardener, said, are you going to grow the coffee that you
Yes,
sell?
right.
Which, feasibly, coffee grows in a very specific region in the world, and perhaps you could grow some here, but it would not do justice to what it is. But my hope, I love self-sufficiency. I love being sustainable. But more importantly, I love community sufficiency.
Right.
And when we have the opportunity to connect with people who are doing what they do well and have been doing well, you're the fourth generation on this area producing coffee, we can take our influence and partner with people who are saying we're taking our product to leverage community here.
Right.
So with the influence of what you've been doing, you guys have built a school.
Yeah, so we started our all bedroom. So my sister and brother, I have a brother and a sister, both of them are younger. This farmhouse that we had, it's been there since my grandfather built it. We thought it would be a good idea to start a school because of education capitalization.
Yeah.
And my sister had this dream of starting a school. So our all bedroom turned into a school. And this is its own nonprofit that sister leads with her friend. And so it's completely separate of Labas, but we just help. And then we take we help run that place. And then we started a second school. And now kids used to walk 2.5 hours to go to a public school. They walk 20 minutes to go to school now.
That's amazing. That changes everything. So in this village, if you have to walk 2.5 hours to go to school, ultimately people don't.
Right.
I mean, you were saying people typically quit going to school at sixth grade.
Absolutely. Because there's no point.
Yeah, and because people could go into picking coffee instead of walking 2.5 hours a day to school and back.
Right.
And so by offering that education close, they're able to do the work that needs to be done, I'm sure, to help support their families and go to school.
Well, yeah, so think about it. So a kid used to have to use about 4 hours of their day. Well, in those 4 hours, it was just moving back and forth. So now they go 20 minutes, they go to school, and then once they get out of it, they can still work.
Yes.
And they
which
go
is
and take
necessary
it.
for their family.
Which is necessary for them, because places are literally small little self-contained ecosystems.
Yes.
And so they need a way to run themselves. And so this is how most of the coffee is grown throughout the entire world. And so there's villages and families just like mine, just like Hokornal, just like in Guatemala, they would love a chance to have an opportunity to gateway their products and being able to create sustainable partnerships.
Yes.
And that was my dream.
Yes.
So this dream came about in a napkin over the Gulf of Mexico on one of my trips. And I said, because I knew that I had been broken out of poverty.
Yes.
Through capitalization and education. So I knew it was possible. And my goal as an individual and as a family, as a business, is to one day give a chance, an opportunity to as many people as possible to break out of poverty through capitalization and education. In businesses, it's just the best way you can do that.
And this is where, I'm hearing his passion and his dream, which moves me massively. And to see a generational legacy, that moves my heart, because that is so my passion, is to see generational legacy. And it gives me and my dream of roasting coffee and creating a wonderful product that people can enjoy, and the influence that I have on my life, being able to, we're going to sit in this garden and have this chat, you and I and Bear, and 50,000 people are going to watch it. That's amazing.
Right.
And when we choose relationship and community, we're leveraging that to bless people. And so we get to enjoy the product, and children get to go to school, because we're saying, let's invest in relationship. And like you said, let's build ecosystems and communities rather than just mindlessly consuming.
Right.
This is just mindful consumption.
Right, exactly. You put it the best way. That is what really would change the industry. If you are, because we vote with our dollars as an individual.
Yes, we absolutely do.
Because we create value, we're receiving value, so we vote with our value, right? That's what a dollar actually is an exchange of that. And so because of that, and you start leveraging, so for us as a village and for us as a producers, we need people to know what we have in that influence and leveraging each other partnerships and being able to work with other people, with like-minded people. So when I first did this, I was like, okay, all I have to do is lock arms with like-minded people.
Yes.
And put a chain around this and hopefully create a bridge, but which now we can impact. And now the question is, how do we do this? Not this generation, but the next generation,
yes.
and generationally changing places.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm up to now. It's like, okay, so how do we do this in a larger scale so that we can change people generationally from
Yes. Well, that is 100% my passion. Anybody who's been here with me for very long has heard me talk about changing things generationally, changing cultures over the course of generations. And I love that. I'm so thankful for this connection. I just think it's precious orchestration that I'm excited about, and I'm so excited to be able to bring you guys through Beulah Roasting coffee beans grown on this family farm that come here that we can roast and create a product for you guys and connect the dollars of the people who are going to buy coffee anyway.
Yeah, right.
Because that's the thing, we're going to consume.
We're going to consume.
And we have to be mindful in consumption, and sometimes that does limit consumption, but what it really does is saying, if we're going to consume, I want to vote with my dollars. I want to do this in such a way that a middleman is not lining their pockets, that the family who has been growing for generations is benefiting, and their community is benefiting.
Right. And their community, and then generations to come, and then you as a consumer, by the way.
Yeah.
You get a much better product.
Oh yeah, we've been geeking out talking about soil and acidity and pollination and the different things that lead to the different flavors in coffee. And that's another reason why, like, I want to source these things well so that you guys can experience coffee as intended. You know, I mean, exactly. It's a wonderful thing. Wow, we live in a culture and a time and age that I can live in South Carolina and experience Guatemalan coffee.
Yeah, I know. That's how cool it is.
It's beautiful, and I want to do that in a way that helps people. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to go downtown and take a look at the coffee.
Yes, I love that. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see that.
All right, it's a little later in the afternoon. I had to take my boys to the chiropractor, but I am now downtown, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit of our roastery. All the guys are sitting there chatting. We're going to go in here. All right. So it's pretty open, as you can see. There's going to be some shelving and stuff here, packaging. We're going to be roasting our beautiful coffee beans and shipping them out of here. Back here, isn't that so pretty? And here is the pop-up coffee shop. So Gio's been here walking through here, helping us like talk about some different capacities and plans and flow as we set up the ability to like package and ship, and we're showing him the storage for the beans, and we're talking about how to get beans from there to here. So anyway, all of the logistics that, as people who have not roasted thousands of pounds of coffee, we don't know the answer to these questions. So he's helping us with that so we can finalize setting up and getting ready to roast. So this is coming very, very soon. Make sure you are on our newsletter to get information about this. I'll put a link to that down below. And obviously we'll be making announcements on all our social media platforms. And we have some different ideas for teaching some different coffee things. I'm really excited. We were talking today about taking our boys down to Guatemala and Gio just made a video for his parents, and we were talking to them about helping come and teach some gardening stuff at their schools down there and bring some of the knowledge we have, and we can have this reciprocal thing because we're gaining knowledge and we get to share that too, and it's just amazing. We were just out here talking, and I'm emotional right now because it's a lot. Like, this has been such a massive undertaking, and in the post-COVID world, everything has taken 3 times as long and cost 4 times as much, and there have been a lot of moments of like, is this gonna work? You know, like, and I've shared that with you guys. I've talked about doing it scared. I've talked about making the big risk decisions in order to see change happen. But with that being the case, oh, hey, sweet Maya. Maya came in to join me.
What are we talking about? Coffee?
Talking about all of it coming together and being this close, and you know, sometimes when you're in the middle of something, it can feel like quite a crunch, and you don't really know. And then the next thing you know, the right people come in at the right time.
Faithfulness of the Lord.
Yeah, it really is. I'm excited to have gotten to introduce Giovanni to you guys, and you're going to be seeing more of him, and you're going to be getting to taste some of the coffee that was grown by his family. They're, you know, been doing it for generations, and now we get to shake the hands of the people who drink their coffee, and that was his grandfather's dream, and it's pretty cool. So
it's awesome.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. God bless you. Until next time.